Hello students, this lesson is on the sentence and mainly on finding the subject and the verb, including the simple subject in simple verb and complete subject and complete predicate, which is another word for verb. All right, just as a review, a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought, has both a subject and a verb, and nothing that makes it a part of another sentence. All right. The simple predicate, or we usually call it verb, is the part of a sentence that says something about the subject. Verbs may show action, be that mental or physical action. They can also show state or condition of their subject, like being verbs, am, is, are, was, were, be, being, and been. Or verbs also may link another word, specifically a predicate noun or a predicate adjective that comes after the verb and is part of that complete predicate back to the subject. The verb can link the PN or the PA back to the subject. Here are some examples. The boy thought about his choices. Okay. Thought here is your verb. It is an action verb. It is, of course, mental action. And it's an intransitive verb. It is an action verb, but it does not have a direct object. Who or what thought? Boy thought. Thought is your simple verb. There's your simple predicate. Here's another one. Here are your choices. Okay. Any sentence that starts with here or there, you're probably better off flipping the order of your words to find your subject if you want to do that. You don't have to. Your choices are here, okay? Your verb is are, and it is a being verb. That's your simple verb or your simple predicate. Who or what are here? Choices are here. Choices is your simple subject. And then your verb, or then your last sentence here on this page, Bella sounded beautiful. All right, your verb here, and it is a linking verb, is sounded. Remember, if it's a linking verb, you can replace the verb with an equal sign and it will make sense. The sentence will make sense. Bella equals beautiful. So sounded is a linking verb. It links beautiful, which is your predicate adjective, back to your simple subject, which is Bella. All right, next slide. All right, the simple subject tells who or what is doing the action of the verb, or who or what is being whatever the verb is. All right, here are a couple of examples. Shay gave a speech. All right, here your verb, if you want to find your verb first, if that helps you, is gave. It's an action verb. Who or what gave? Shay gave. Shay is your simple subject, gave is your simple predicate or your simple verb. And then the next sentence, Cruz is intelligent. And yes, you are very smart, Cruz. Is our simple predicate or simple verb here. It is a linking verb in this case. Who or what is intelligent? Cruz is our simple subject. Again, is our simple predicate or simple verb. All right, both simple subjects and simple predicates or simple verbs may be compound, meaning we can have more than one simple subject in one idea, and we can have more than one simple verb, 2 or 3 in one idea. And you could have both compound subjects, meaning a couple of subjects, and compound predicates, meaning a couple of simple predicates in the same sentence. Liana and Ellie make good grades. Here we have one complete idea. This is a simple sentence, only one complete idea with a compound subject, 2 subjects, 2 simple subjects, Liana, Ellie. And the next one, Jaden studied hard and did well on the test. Here our compound is a predicate, it's a verb, simple predicate. Studied, did are both our intransitive action verbs, meaning they don't have any direct objects. Jaden is your simple subject. Jaden did what? She studied and she did. All right, next slide. Remember that it might be easier to find your verb first and then ask who or what is doing or being the verb, the action of the verb or being the verb, in order to find your subject. And this is because in an average sentence you have a lot more nouns and pronouns that could function as a subject as you do have a word that looks like a verb that shows action or state of being in a given sentence. You're going to have a lot more things that could look like subjects. So find your verb first if you can, okay? Find that word that shows action, mental or physical, or shows linking for the subject to another word that comes after the verb, or, one of your chart words, your being verbs. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. All right? Also remember that a subject can never be part of a prepositional phrase. So if you can recognize your prepositions and you can mark off your prepositional phrases, that object of preposition that comes at the end of the prepositional phrase and is a noun or pronoun, usually a noun, that can't be your subject, okay? All right, here's another thing to remember. More often than not, a subject precedes its verb, meaning in most sentences, in the majority of sentences, the subject of the sentence comes before the verb of the sentence. This is especially true in declarative sentences that simply make a statement and exclamatory sentences that show sudden or strong feeling. However, there are times when the order of your subject and verb is often inverted, meaning switched, meaning either all of your verb or at least a helping verb, part of your verb will come before your subject, okay? This is particularly true in interrogative sentences. Here are two examples. Did Aaron enjoy his trip? All right, and again, if you have an interrogative sentence, as well as a sentence that starts with the word there or here, you can usually flip the order of the words around. It might make it easier to find your subject and your verb. So if we were to flip this sentence, we would have Aaron did enjoy his trip, okay? If you're wanting to try to find your verb first, find your verb. What is your action word? Enjoy, and of course did is a helping verb, so did enjoy is your verb. Who or what did enjoy? Aaron is your simple subject. Notice that it's sandwiched between the helping verb and the main verb, which is often the case in an interrogative sentence. See the next one, same idea. Will he be going back there next year? Again, you could invert it. He will be going back there next year. And if you do that, you do make your subject come before your verb. It also helps you, as it would have in the previous sentence, to put the parts of your verb phrase right next to each other so that you're less likely to leave a part out. So he would be your simple subject, will be going is your simple predicate. Again, interrogative sentences often have at least part of the verb, a helping verb that comes before the subject, and then after the subject you'll have your main verb, okay? At least one other word that's the last word in the verb phrase. All right. Also, if a sentence begins with the words there or here, at least, same idea as with the interrogative sentence, at least a helping verb is going to come before your subject, all right? Again, you can flip the order, in this case, just like you do with your interrogative sentence. You can flip the order of your words in your sentence, and sometimes that will help find your subject in all of your verb, especially if there's more than one piece of your verb, more than one word. Okay, there are many of us going, so flip it. Many of us are going, and you don't really need the there here. It's not an adverb saying where, it's a placeholder for the sentence. Okay, and you would see many as your simple subject, are going is your simple verb, your verb phrase, okay? Notice you have helping verb, subject, main verb with the word there at the beginning. Another there, this one is an adverb. There are my tickets. You may flip it again. My tickets are there. And here we see that tickets is our subject and are is our being verb. Last sentence like this. Here is the answer to your question. Okay, again, flip it if you can. The answer to your question is here. Answer is your subject, is your being verb. Please note, as you see in these three examples above, is always the case, the words here and there are never subjects. Here and there are not subjects, okay? Here is always an adverb, there is usually an adverb, but it can be just a placeholder to make the wording of your sentence run smoothly. All right, almost done. In an imperative sentence, the subject is always understood you, and you guys should all remember this and know this, okay? Help me, please. All right, here your predicate is the word help, that's your verb, simple predicate, simple verb, and you, understood you, is your simple subject. Who is to help me? You are to help me, okay? Final bit of information here with a couple of examples. The second exercise that you're doing today requires you to separate your sentence into its complete subject and its complete verb. And please hear me when I say this. I've written it on the next slide, but please hear me again. To do this correctly, the complete subject and the complete predicate, if you're underlining correctly for those two items, every word in your sentence generally should be underlined. Every word, okay? Either once or twice as part of your complete subject or part of your complete predicate. Okay, so a complete subject is the simple subject and all of its modifiers, all the things that describe the simple subject, whether that be one-word adjectives often, or whether it be prepositional phrases that describe your simple subject. Everything that goes with and tells you more about your simple subject is part of the complete subject. Then your complete predicate is the main or simple verb or simple predicate or verb or verb phrase, and all of its modifiers, all the adverbs or prepositional phrases that might describe your verb. And if you have any direct objects that receive the action, or predicate nouns or predicate adjectives that come after that verb, and that verb links back to your subject, PNs, PAs, DOs, all those are considered part of your complete predicate. Okay, finally, last slide. Remember, I told you this on the last page, but in order for you to do your second exercise correctly today, you must remember this. If you are separating your sentence into complete subject and complete predicate, every single word in that sentence should be underlined either once as part of your complete subject, describing your subject and telling you more about your subject with your subject, or your complete predicate, your main simple verb predicate plus direct object, predicate noun, prepositional phrases that describe your verb, adverbs that describe your verb, anything, okay? So everything would need to be underlined once or twice in such a sentence where they ask you to do that. All right, here are 4 example sentences. Probably the easiest, my friends helped me to finish the job. So our simple subject is friends, all right? And our simple predicate is helped, okay? So, but then we need to find all the things that go with each of those words. My describe friends, so my friends is your simple subject. And notice this next word, helped, is your simple predicate, and then everything else goes with that. Helped whom? Me, that's your direct object. Helped me how? To finish the job. So simple predicates or complete predicates underlined twice, complete subject is just once. And usually your complete predicate will have more words underlined than your complete subject. Not always, but the majority of the time. Here's another one, an imperative sentence. Note this one. Do the dishes before playing outside. Okay, what is your verb here? Your verb is the first word in the imperative sentence, as it often is in an imperative sentence. Do, okay? Who is supposed to do? You are. So understood you is your subject. And please note that there are no other words here that go with understood you. Understood you is your simple subject and your complete subject. Because do is the simple predicate. Do what? Dishes. Do dishes when? Before playing outside. So essentially, if you have an imperative sentence that gives a command or makes a request, then everything that is written in that sentence will be complete predicate, and your complete subject and only subject will be understood you, that you would write to the left of the sentence, okay? Oh, I got 3 more sentences in here because I was trying to give you as much variety and examples as possible, as many as possible. How much help did you request? All right? You can flip this and it might help you to find subject and predicate. Make it into a declarative sentence. You did request how much help? All right? If you do that and you find your verb first, did request is your simple predicate. All right? And then did request what? Help. Of course, how much describes help. Okay? So did request how much help is your complete predicate, and therefore your simple and complete subject is only the word you. And this is fairly commonplace, especially with declarative sentences, or excuse me, interrogative sentences that ask a question. Okay. Next sentence. In the closet are the suitcases. Now, this is unusual for a declarative sentence. The vast majority of the time, with a declarative sentence that simply makes a statement and ends with a period, the subject is near the front of the sentence and the verb comes after it. This is different. But again, you can invert it. The suitcases are in the closet. Okay? What's your verb? Your verb is are, right? Are where? In the closet. So are in the closet all goes together as complete predicate. And your simple subject is the word suitcases. And the word the, of course, describes suitcases. And therefore, these suitcases is your complete predicate. And finally, I know this has been a long video, but there's a lot here to go over, and I want to make sure you understand it well. Occasionally, the cats and dogs get along, okay? Now, this one you really got to look at. Yes, it's declarative, so yes, the subject and verb, as per usual, are going to be in order. Subjects, and you have a compound subject here, are going to come before your verb. But notice that word at the very beginning of the sentence. Occasionally, followed by a comma, okay? Remember, I've told you before that if a word comes at the beginning of a sentence and it's by itself and it's followed by a comma, most of the time that word is an adverb describing your verb. And that's absolutely the case here. Occasionally answers the question when about getting along. Okay? So this one is split. Unlike a lot of your other ones here, where you have all of your verbs side by side and all of your subjects side by side, you have occasionally underlined twice because it describes your verb, and so it's part of your complete predicate. You have the cats and dogs as your complete subject, and then you have get along underlined twice as your complete predicate. The only other one here that you could say is similar in that effect is the one that's 2 up, the question one, interrogative one. How much help did you request? And often the interrogative ones, you will have a 1 or 2 or 3 maybe word simple, or complete subject. Often it's just 1 or 2 words sandwiched in between the two parts of your complete predicate. All right, if you have questions, please message me. Again, this is not super hard, but particularly the second exercise today, if you're not pretty careful, you may make simple mistakes. Also, remember, here and there are never subjects. Never, ever, ever. And make sure if you have a verb phrase that you underline the 2 or 3 words or whatever in that verb phrase. Have a blessed day.